Hello friends, I am Rahul Gupta from Startwithwhy. So again in the corporate insight, we are going to discuss today one of the important questions that is asked in the interview called what are your strengths? Okay, so let's move on. So first I will be discussing about what actually interviewer panel is looking through these questions. When they ask this question, what is the meaning of that? And then we will be discussing what are the mistakes which I have made throughout my 15 years of career experience and how I have learned to answer this question. Okay, and then we will discuss why actually interviewer panel asked this question at the first place. What is the thought process behind them? And then I will again explain you with my secret recipe that has worked for me most of the time. Okay, so and if you like this video, please subscribe the channel and hit the like button so I can create a similarly more videos like this. That gives me a lot more inspiration. Okay, so let's start on the first question. What interviewer panel is looking from through this question? Okay, so generally when they ask, what actually they say and what they meant, that is completely different. Okay, so when they are asking you what are your great strengths, actually they are looking for that what are the specific attributes or the natural talents that you have or that you can use to excel in this position that you are applying for. Okay, remember, they are not interested what you are good in all other things. They don't expect any things that you should list down in which you are very good. They are only looking for specific related to this job. So I have made so many times mistake. I'm telling that okay, I am good in this, but that has no correlation with the job. If you are going to do the same thing, you are not going to get the job interview call. Okay, so ensure you don't do those kind of mistakes. Now let's move on to the second question, which is what mistake I made actually. So I will be all these things I am telling with my experience. So the first mistake, generally people think like they treat themselves as a divine. Okay, like they have all the strength which can be thought of in this universe. Okay, they will say I have this, I am the like a bond, I can do anything whichever is given to me. Don't try to do that. Correct? Finally, we are human beings, we should be remembering that. Second, don't show yourself that you are the great personality. Okay, don't say like I can do anything, something like a Steve Jobs, I can do something like that. It is not gonna crack you the interview. Okay, so true to yourself. Sometimes what happens, like I am not able to articulate what is my true strength. So preparation in advance will be really helpful for you, because sometimes when we are not a native speaker, okay, in English, then we find difficult in articulating in English. Okay, what is our real strength? So it is a better idea to write down before your actual interview. The next one is discuss the irrelevant strength. Okay, so you might be good in something else. You might be good in driving cars, but that has no relevance to discuss there, because they are not asking you or they are not hiring you to drive the car, isn't it? So that is like a waste of time for you as well as for the interviewer panel. So ensure that you don't discuss any kind of irrelevant strength which has no correlation with the job. Contradicting strength and weaknesses, because sometimes the question is also asked, what are your weaknesses? So sometimes let's say we say that we are very punctual, okay, in the strength, and when the weakness question is asked, you say I become so lazy to doing that. So that is contradictory. Okay, ensure that you don't do. The next one is become too humble. Sometimes we become too humble and we tell that kind of mistake which can be problematic for the job. So ensure you don't do that. Okay, so these are the few mistakes which I made, okay, in my career, 15 years of career. So I want that you should not make these kind of mistakes. Now let's move on to the third point, which is why actually the interviewer panel asked this question at the first place. That is a very, very important point to understand, so that we can give you the answer, so we can give the actual answer of this question. Okay, so let's understand what they are trying to see. Generally, when they ask this question, they are looking whether you understand the industry in which this business is. Okay, do you understand what is happening around this? Okay, what is the industry is, what kind of jobs are getting offered, where the company is going, what is the company business is. Do you actually understand that? That is the first thing they are looking for. Second, how much is your social intelligence? So if they hire you, whether you will be able to work there socially or not. You might be having some very critical problem. They are trying to understand that through these questions. You might be giving some clues. They might not get a clear picture, but those clues can lead to the further more questions. The third part is how much aware you are about yourself personally. Okay. So sometimes, because it is very important to know, because we are not the divine people. We are not a God. We are the human beings. We have the limited strength and weaknesses. So whether you are aware of your strength or weaknesses, that is the critical part that the interviewer is actually looking to understand from you. Okay. So now let's move on to the fourth, which is an important question, that what is the recipe for which you are looking for, isn't it? So let's move on. So secret recipe, and here it comes. So what is the secret recipe? These are the three questions. So now if you see, we can actually correlate this with our brain. Okay. So now if you see, I will go a little bit of biology and then I will correlate with this, so you can comprehend in a much better way. So let's understand. If you see, our brain has actually the three parts: neocortex, limbic, and a brain stem. Okay. So when we talk about neocortex, it is basically the cognitive thinking, that is talking about whether you understand the industry, whether you will be able to work academically or intellect way in this or not. Second is called an emotion, which comes through your social intelligence. So that's what they are looking for. And third is your basic instinct. Okay. So whenever there is a problem happens, the project deadlines is not working, how you behave at the time. So what is your personal traits? Okay. So these are the three actually items every employer is looking for. Okay. So now let's move on to how to answer this deadliest question then. Okay. So what I have made this is a very simple method which I have created for me, that I am explaining to you. This is called a 3-step method. Okay. So it's a 3-step method. The first step is prepare only 3 strengths. Only 3 strengths. You should not prepare 1,000 of strength, correct? You may have, but only 3, because interviewer is not looking a list basically from you, just a 1 or 2. Prepare only 3, that is sufficient. Okay. And only those 3 which are appealing to your job description, which are appealing to the hiring manager, which are relevant to that job that you are applying for, which are relevant to that industry, not like anything. Okay. Step number 2, give a strength that is unique to and that you can add the value to their business. Okay. So that strength that you are telling, if you go there, it is going to add the value to their business. Correct. Seems very difficult, correct? I am going to tell you the examples. It is ultra simple, correct? So just stay on with me. Now the third step is basically, which is called prepare for evidences to back up your claims. Remember, anyone can tell I have this strength, but you should have the evidences to show them if that has been asked. So these are the 3 steps. I will revise for you once again. The step number 1, prepare the 3 strengths that is relevant to that job description. Okay. Step number 2, how that the strength is going to add value to the business in which you are going to you are applying for. The step number 3 is prepare your evidences in well in advance for that. So if you prepare these 3 things, correct, you can nail the interview very well. Okay. So now first I will tell you that what are these strengths can happen. So now we will be discussing about the repository that I have created here, out of which you can choose the 3 strengths, okay, and that you can prepare in advance before answering this question in the interview. Okay. So let's start. So the first one is for the neocortex, which is your cognitive or thinking. So if you see like here, the strength are, you can say that I am industry aware, I have a very good business acumen, curiosity, I am an avid or very quick learner, I have the very good decision making abilities, I love learning, correct, I do this much. So all these things that you are telling, you should have the evidences for that. Then they can ask, okay, what is the proof for that? So for an example, love of learning, you can say, okay, I read 1 book in a week. My God, that is, then they can ask, okay, which is the last book that you have read? So you should be aware of, don't bluff there. Okay, you should be honest there. So think like which of these are fitting to you most precisely. Creativity, okay, I think it is repeated. So innovative, analytical skills. Okay, so these are the few cognitive thinking that the strength that you can pick from. The next one is called a limbic system. Limbic system is nothing but your emotions. So when we talk about in this, you can tell, okay, good social intelligence, okay, I have the very good creativity, loyal and trustworthy leadership, unbiased mind, I have a perseverance, I have the empathy to the people, like which is fitting to you. Okay, these are just a list. Now the third one is basically your brainstem or the survival instinct. So in that, if you see, I am a self-motivated, you can tell, I am flexible and versatile, I can work in any environment, I am passionate and committed, okay, I am very good in maintaining the work-life balance, I am persistent whatever I do, I am collaborative in nature, I am detail-oriented, okay, I am focused, I am hardworking. So any three you can pick up. Okay, so now let me tell you the very good simple example which I have created for me, so you can get a little bit of feel that how you can make for yourself and crack the interview. So let's, before wasting a time, directly jump there. So my simple answer, okay, so if let's say I'm going to answer this question, okay, that what is the question, that what are my strengths? So how will I answer? So let's see. So my answer will be, so first I will say my one of the strengths is attention to detail. I have always been detail oriented in my work, and it is something which I enjoy all the time. I saw on this job description that this role involves a lot of detail oriented work, which is the one of the reason I am applied for this job. So you are clearly telling what is your strength. You are clearly telling that how this job how this strength is going to help the business if I join your organization. The second one is, you can tell, another strength is my collaborative approach to the working. Okay, why? Because I strongly believe that if a team can achieve a brilliant thing when they support each other, when they are respectful of everyone's opinion and the contribution, and when they are all focused to the same common goal. Okay, so that is basically, again, I am telling what is my strength, and then what is the benefit of that which I have seen in my previous organizations, and I can add value to your organization also. Okay, and then you can say, okay, finally perhaps my greatest strength is creative and innovative thinking. Okay, and that led me to file 3 patents in my previous organization, and I believe that being a technology driven company, this my creative thinking can add a lot more value to your organization. Correct? So you can see, like, all these 3 examples or all these 3 simple answers is giving a very precise approach that how my skills or my strength is going to add value to your business. Okay, so this will basically create a very good impression that you are aware of what are your strengths and how this can be useful to their organization. Okay, so finally in the end I will say that these are the 3 simple steps. Again I will repeat: prepare only 3 strengths in advance that are appealing to that job, think like how can you add value to that business, and prepare them in advance along with their evidence if asked. Okay, and very key note that you should be aware of: don't forget that anyone can say all these strengths by reading on the internet, by reading on the different books, but you should back them up with your claims that only can help you stand out. Remember, this is a very crucial item. Okay, so hope this video has given you very good insight that how can you answer this question very honestly, very nicely. Okay, so hope if you like this video, then please like the button, hit the subscribe and share with your friends basically, so that this knowledge can be reached to the so many millions people. Correct? So thank you and see you with the next video soon.